It's like the day after taking a test where you think of the answer that you should have given to that question that you were stumped on. And I should have asked him. And I had limited time. I'm not making excuses. I had about 10 minutes and they were behind. And you can feel the urgency in the whole process. The PR person is frazzled by then because they're 15 minutes behind. And you've got a 10-minute window. And you know whoever is next after you is going to be saying, hey, where is Garrett Wilson? And I forgot to really delve into this question of how badly do you guys want Aaron Rodgers back and how much would it help if he's in the building helping you guys through these moments. I failed to ask that question. I will hang my head in shame as I let you listen to and hear this snippet from yesterday's interview with Garrett Wilson on why he thinks Jets fans believe things will get better.
Because you see glimpses of it every week. Every single week you see what we can be. You know, we put it together for one drive, two drives, and we look good, but it's about bottling that up and making it a consistent thing. And that's what we're trying to find right now, how we can bottle that up and take it in the next week so that we can, start off the game rolling like that. We've started slow in the past, and that's what we've done these last 3 weeks. We started really slow, and that we don't want that to become our identity. But the last 3 weeks we've started slow, and that's what it is. So if we can try and figure out why we're playing better at the end of the game, or why we score more points at the end of the game, and take that into next week. That's what we're trying to do, man. And I know coach is on that, and I trust our people upstairs.
When you think about how things played out for the Jets so far this year, they started slowly against the Bills, down 10, came back, won the game. Then they started slowly against the Cowboys. If you start slowly against the Cowboys, you're done, because that's one of the key ingredients for the Cowboys making it a blowout, a lopsided thing. Because once they get blood in the water, it becomes feeding frenzy, and it just goes boom, 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 and it's over. Against the Patriots, they start slowly. And what do they have? They had a chance. They had a Hail Mary that almost worked. I watched that from the end zone angle yesterday. It actually glanced off Garrett Wilson's shoulder before Randall Cobb had a shot at catching the thing and winning the game in walk-off fashion. And how different the narrative would be in New York if they had stolen that game, had broken the streak against the Patriots. Just unbelievable. So he's right. You can't dig a hole for yourself and then spend the rest of the game trying to climb out of it. You just can't do it. And they're aware of that. That's good. There's the angle. Watch it go off his shoulder. And if it just had popped up a little bit more, and look, everything is happening so quickly. You can't expect anyone to make that play. And I asked him about it, and that was like, if it happens, it happens. It's all just a fluke at that point. But it came so close to the Jets being 2-1 and finally beating the New England Patriots. But instead, the sky has fallen in New York, and everybody's trying to peek out from under it to figure out what's going to happen next, Myles. But I get what he's saying. But just like you said earlier, that doesn't mean anything's going to change. There's no reason at this point to believe that something's magically going to change against the Kansas City Chiefs.
No, there isn't. And part of the reason, too, is that the Chiefs have been playing really good defensively. I mean, it's really good defensive football, and they played well defensively in week 1 against Detroit. It's just that, I don't know, for some reason, everybody on Kansas City's receiving corps seemed to forget how to catch. And then, in week 2 against Jacksonville, they played great defensively, didn't allow a touchdown. Last week, really, really good defensively against a Bears team that, they're probably the worst team in football right now. But still, if you have that good unit and you add Chris Jones back to it, that's not going to make things any easier for opposing offenses. So, you're going against Patrick Mahomes, and we can assume that they're going to score, let's say, at least 21 points, right? I mean, unless things go horribly wrong, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to put up at least 20, 21 points. How are the Jets going to get there and match that? Are they going to have a defensive touchdown? Maybe. Special teams touchdown? Yeah, one of those two. But man, it's just tough to see how they're going to make a huge jump in whatever that consistency is going to be when you look at the quarterback, and the quarterback's just not seeing the field well enough to be able to process things quickly enough to get the ball out of his hands on a play-to-play basis. And I don't know if it's the scheme is not exactly helping him, if he's not exactly comfortable with the personnel, whatever it happens to be. Maybe they need to feature Garrett Wilson more on offense. Maybe they need to scheme up ways to get him the ball more. I don't know. But I have a hard time thinking that all of a sudden we're going to see a different Zach Wilson than we've seen for the last couple of years when they're going to go against a really good defensive unit on Sunday.
That was another one of the things Aaron Rodgers said yesterday in reference to other teams. You get your great players the ball. You come up with ways to get the ball in their hands. That's what I was saying all last week after witnessing the Steelers-Browns game in person. Why is George Pickens not the centerpiece of this offense? Why is there not a concerted affirmative effort to get him the football? Exactly. Another movie from 1999, right? Was it 99 or earlier than 99? I think it was 99, or maybe it was a couple years after that. The South Park movie. I think that, it may have been 99. We'll have to look that up now. When was South Park the movie out? It may have been the same year as Bug's Life, and I wonder which one was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Picture. Maybe both, maybe neither. It gives us something to do during the break other than talk to each other because, as we demonstrated earlier in the show, it's robotic perfunctory communication when it's just the two of us. Okay. What was my point now? Oh, get the ball to your best players. That's the point. And that all comes back to, do you have the offensive line to do anything? The running game has not been there. Now, in part, it's not there because they get forced away from it because they get themselves in a hole. But even then, they haven't been able to run effectively. We saw it on the Monday night game against the Bills with a couple of long runs from Breece Hall. But last week, I think Hall had maybe 18 yards, and I don't think Dalvin Cook had much more than that. So, and that was a closer, grinded-out kind of game where they could have stayed committed to the run. But the offensive line, too many injuries, not effective, but for whatever reason, the offensive line and the performance of it, it's not like they didn't have players lined up to play the positions. It just hasn't worked. And that's one of the reasons why the quarterback position isn't working, and Zach Wilson, instead of the offensive line, getting all the blame. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.